Good evening, friends, and welcome to day 114 of A Poem a Day for 2026. It is Friday. My out of office is on, work is finished, and I am now off work for 2 weeks. I am almost delirious with joy, to be honest. Um, uh, the sun is gloriously shining, there is not a cloud in the sky, the trees are heavy with blossom, and it kind of feels like everything is wonderful. Um, Almost sort of cinematic levels of good. Um, there is also the underlying of the impending World Cup. Um, but someone once told me that chemically speaking, within our bodies, the hormone, chemical, whatever it is that we produce, that denotes that feeling that we get that is fear, is the same thing that we produce for excitement. The only difference is how we interpret it mentally. So I'm trying, whenever I feel, I'm trying to tell myself, you're excited, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. I'm not sure if it's factual, and I've never actually looked into it because it brings me comfort. So that is my gift to you today. My other gift is poetry. I am going to be recording today's and tomorrow's poems because I have a meeting with a virtual meeting with my crew tomorrow. My wonderful announcer crew, because we're all arriving at different times in France, and instead of making everybody arrive at the venue at stupid o'clock on Thursday morning, it seemed better to convene online ahead of things. So, yeah. But that's not today, that's tomorrow, and that's not... you don't need to worry about that. So, okay. We can now look at today's poem. And interestingly, today's poem is entitled Incident of the French Camp by Robert Browning. And our blurb reads as follows. The Battle of Ratisbon took place on the 23rd of April, 1809, in parentheses. It is placed here in this book as it shares the date with Shakespeare's birthday. It was fought as part of the Napoleonic Wars between the French and Austrian empires. The poem focuses on an imagined exchange between a very young French soldier, fatally injured on his horse, and the Emperor Napoleon himself. So, excuse me. This is Incident of the French Camp by Robert Browning. You know, we French stormed Ratisbon, a mile or so away, on a little mound, Napoleon. Stood on our storming day, with neck out thrust, you fancy how, legs wide, arms locked behind, as if to balance the prone brow, oppressive with its mind. Just as perhaps he mused, my plans that soar to earth may fall, let once my army leader lanes waver at yonder wall. Out twixt the battery smokes there flew a rider, bound on bound, full galloping, nor bridle drew, until he reached the mound. Then off there, flung in smiling joy, and held himself erect, but just his horse's mane, a boy, you hardly could suspect. So tight he kept his lips compressed, scarce any blood came through. You looked twice, ere you saw his breast was all but shot in two. Well, cried he, Emperor, by God's grace, we've got you Ratisbon. The marshal's in the marketplace, and you'll be there anon, to see your flag-bird flap his anes, where I, to heart's desire, perched him, the chief's eye flashed his plans. soared up again like fire. The chief's eye flashed, but presently softened itself as sheaths filmed the mother eagle's eye when her bruised eaglet breathes. "You're wounded!" "Nay," the soldier's pride touched to the quick, he said. "I'm killed, sire." And his chief beside, smiling, the boy fell dead. Cool. I like that. I like that a lot. We talked recently about history. I feel like we've had a lot of historical stuff recently. Oddly enough, the Napoleonic War and that time is another area of history that I'm not particularly well versed. At some point, I will look into all of these things that I say. I'm going to look at that. I'm going to look at that. I'm going to look at that. I've got lots of, not research, I've got lots of learning to do. And I think that's one of the really fun things about all of this stuff that we're reading together is, and just being a human in society, is there's always things to be learned. Anybody who tells you that they are done with learning, I personally would stay well away from that person. Anyone who thinks that, for example, learning ends with their time in formal education, ends with school or university, is quite frankly a fool, in my honest opinion, because we're always learning. Every single day. Always growing. Always room for growth. And I think that's a beautiful thing. Yeah, I'm feeling good today, folks. It's been a ropey period of time, but today is sunny, both literally and mentally. I hope things are for you as well. And I'm now going to record tomorrow for you. And I hope that tomorrow is good for you too. But we'll get to that. For now, though, I hope you have a wonderful evening. And I hope that when it comes time for you to settle down and have a rest, I truly hope that you have a very good